3, 2, 1. What's your...
My favorite band memory, I would say, would have to be that day when they announced that we were going to state, because it was such an emotional moment for me.
We're just like, once we heard that we were at number 5, that's when we knew that we were going to state. And I guess that was like the first time I actually cried at a competition.
It honestly reminded me of how much hard work and, you know, how much we've endured the past 4 years alone. I mean, we went from like
Russian classics
to one of many, many one. So, yeah.
I cried, and you know, it was good.
It was real tears that day.
Yeah, it was real tears.
After they called a specific band for 6th place, and then we weren't called yet, and mind you, the drum majors have to be still at set, and all you see, because there's a video, all you see is me, and everybody else is just dead silent.
Me and Kennedy were just screaming, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, over and over. I started bawling at that second.
Yes!
I was like, oh my god, guys, oh my god. Oh my god.
I just kept trying to say, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. But then
And
the tears
then
kept falling. I was like, don't cry,
it
don't cry. I was like, oh, we're a mess. We're a hot mess.
Once they said number 5, we were like, all the drum majors and then me and Molly, we were just talking to each other. We were like, we were just like, I was shaking so bad.
It was the moment, of course there were plenty of moments where I was like, I made the right decision to want to be drum major and to want to help people, but it was that night that I was like, this is why I'm here. This is why I joined band, and this is why I wanted to become drum majors.
After 4th place, or after they announced all the like state qualifiers, everybody started crying, but my instinct was to like laugh. Like, I don't know, I have a video of it, but like I was laughing so hard and everybody was bawling, and that was just my instinct, I guess.
So you're that one person who laughs in that
mean,
serious moment.
I mean, no, but it was like, it was emotional for me, but I was just laughing. I don't know why. Like, I've never experienced that, so that was
I
my
don't know, I was crying hysterically.
reaction.
I don't know if you heard, but Dale was crying hysterically. I'm sorry to put you on blast there,
Oh.
but you're behind me.
Ruth,
That's
Bobby, I have the video. But also, when Mr. Minx was like, I am so proud of you. It was funny.
It was. I remember Stevenson too. He could not get a word. This man.
Everybody
I
was
love
crying.
This guy. I
Everybody
love this
was
guy,
crying.
but he would not get a word out. I was like, oh my god, thank you. He's just like, I was like, okay. Everyone was just like hugging each other, like saying, we made it, we made it. Like, that just made me feel happy about what we did, accomplished.
My favorite band memory was freshman year. It was me, Ruth, and Jennifer. We were in the locker room, and Mr. Burke walked in on us. We were singing Kodak Black, No Flockin', and we were eating Golden Shake. And Mr. Burke was standing right behind Ruth. And me and Jennifer were just like, turn around. Skylar! He made us leave and throw our chicken away. It was funny. That was like the first time I got really in the locker room. It was like the first time I was afraid of Mr. Burke. Well, not the first time, but I was like afraid.
We were in Disney, and Valerie, though she didn't see a step, and she tripped over it, and it was in the middle of like everyone watching the Disney show, and everyone was quiet, and she screamed, and like people were recording and were just like turned, they just looked behind.
Mine was going to New York because, like, duh. Yeah.
New York was fun.
Yeah.
Mine was when it rained on this freshman year, senior night, I think.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
My favorite band memory would have to be something from this year, actually. It was actually kind of funny. Mr. Travis was having a hard time dealing with David Wynn. I guess David Wynn wasn't having a very good morning, like we usually do. He wasn't getting the right measurements on time, and there came to a point where Mr. Travis basically lost it. He went, "David Wynn, ah!" And to me and the other Line members, we were just dying, just laughing, because we'd never seen Mr. Travis act like that before.
All right, so my favorite band memory has to be when we were on the bus and we were coming back, and Max said he would spit water in someone's eye, and someone said, "No, you won't," and he did. And he spit water in Steven's eye.
My favorite band memory, Stay, of course. We went to Stay.
Mine was going to, Disney was good, but New York was a lot of fun because we were rooming with like Jennifer and Ruth, and Jennifer, like, she does not stop laughing. And they literally like made me open the door for the our freaking adult every day, and I'd be so mad, and no one else would get up. But
And then,
it was
remember
fun.
the pizza? How we ordered pizza.
Oh yeah, I wanted to go swimming, but they wanted pizza. So and I had to order it for them. I had to order it because they were too scared. I had to do everything for them,
And
basically.
the pizza never came, so
Yeah.
we went to sleep hungry.
My favorite moment was when, it was freshman year, it was when we were practicing, and this girl named Haley, she was a tenor, and we was doing backwards marching, and it was small steps, it was literally small steps, and she was going backwards, and she fell so hard. She fell so hard that okay. And she got back up. She was rolling. She got back up so slow, bro.
Oh yeah,
Next.
When we went to our first competition for copy and paste, because when I heard second prelims, when we got second for prelims, I cried happily for the first time. It felt amazing. Reagan and I started crying, and it felt crazy.
I have a lot, but I think if I had to choose, I would probably say the first crowd reaction that we got when we hit that first note back at Burleson this year. We were going in, and I was expecting like cheers and applause because it's a show, but I wasn't expecting the amount of crowd reception that we got, and whenever they went crazy, I was like, oh my god, and towards all throughout the show, they were just they were cheering and they were screaming and they were clapping, and it was a crowd reaction that I've never seen before in any of our performances, and I was smiling throughout the whole thing, and I think at that moment I kind of knew that was going to be One of Many was going to be our season. That was going to be our year.
I forgot which competition, but it has to be when after our final run, we gathered around. Mr. Travis just gathered out of nowhere, brought up a bag of bread up in the air, and everyone just started tearing it up and eating the actual bread. So we got that bread that day.
Okay, so when you become drum major, you have to go to a drum major camp called Sassy. And on our way there, I was just minding my own business, and then I get a notification from Alonso. And it says, "Can you ask your mom if we could go to Walmart?" No! I will tell this story. I texted him. Well, I looked at him and I was like, "What do you mean?" And then he texted back. He said, "I forgot my socks at home."
It was an early morning. At 2 a.m. Okay.
And so I asked my mom. I was like, "Hey mom, can we go to Walmart?" And she was like, "Why?" And I said, "Alonso forgot his socks."
It was my freshman year, and it was after the ballot. The high brass had this little circle that they go in, and we had the little chicken dance thing that we did. I don't know if any of y'all remember, but yeah, Rodrigo, he had his hair really long at the time, so whenever we did the chicken stuff, it would just go everywhere. And then he didn't understand it at first, whenever we were first learning it, so he would just swing his head back and forth to the other side. At one point, his glasses just fell off, probably 5 yards away from how hard he was just swinging his head.
Okay, so my favorite show was one of many because we got to go to state.
Woo!
Not only did we go to state, but Captain, hi.
Cut
that out.
A lot of people are gonna say that I didn't do anything, but guess what? I did. Thanks.
Favorite show is obviously one of many.
I think mine has to be one of many.
Yeah.
Many of one. Because like, it's just like it's our show. We made it happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to say one of many too, or one of many.
Many of one.
Yeah, as well.
Okay, I will just be basic. I will say one of many because that show was it, bro. I just didn't want y'all to roast me because Illusions was actually my favorite show.
Favorite, like, of all time, freshman year, bro. Freshman year, because I was on the snare line with 2 seniors, That's probably my favorite year that I played in the drum line,
One of many.
I mean, yeah. One of many.
That was
my all-time favorite.
the deal breaker.
Copy and paste was pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. That was like
That was
up
our
there, but
transition year. Copy paste.
But I have to say, not copy. One of many was my favorite. The music-wise, marching-wise, Travis is smart when it comes to making shows and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Mine is one of many because we were the underdogs.
One of many, due to how impactful it was. With one of many, we woke up the whole crowd. We had everyone just shaking and looking surprised, and that really felt to me is like, oh yeah, we're going to state.
My favorite show is One of Many, Many of One by Zach Travis. Favorite show has to be One of Many because it's the furthest we've ever gotten.
My favorite show was Copy Paste, hands down. Even though One of Many was memorable, it just had to be Copy and Paste for me.
So my favorite show is One of Many, Many of One, because I feel like that show just kind of like expressed us as a band. Like I felt like that was like our little story as a band, and like how we're all one, and we marched together as one.
Yeah, one of many, obviously.
Yeah, I thought it would be copy paste because that was like the turning point, but it's definitely one of many. I mean, that was just
hit home.
obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, that one hit home.
Yeah, one of many was all time my favorite.
For me, of course, it's also gonna be one of many, many of one.
I'm gonna have to say this year's, of course.
Yeah, this year was pretty good. The show was amazing. But my favorite probably be Copy and Paste.
I like one of many, many of one the best, I think. But I don't know. I really like Russian classics a lot, and I marched my freshman year, so.
Must be nice.
I think my favorite one will be this year.
I feel like each show had its own like vibe, or like, I'm gonna say this show, not because we went to state, but because of the things we did that led up to it. Things that led up to it is what made it my favorite, because like obviously we did different things, and like we were dedicated, and we were like very committed, and like the marching band style kind of like changed, and I don't know, it was just something that led up to it that made it my favorite. Not because we went to state, but what we did to get there was my favorite part of the show.
My favorite show has to be One of Many too. I guess just like the transition from starting with Russian classics and then going to Illusions and then finally getting ourselves together and kind of for copy paste, and then finally doing One of Many, which was like the greatest show I've ever marched in. It was just like a magical like experience, honestly.
Okay, yeah, it had to be this year's show. Because one, I feel like we had a lot of props, which was kind of cool, and two, it was kind of original, and the music, I really liked it, so it had to be this year's. Plus we made state, so.
I would go with probably Copy and Paste. Like that one was really, really good.
I want to shout out to my section. We had our rough patches, but like, I love you guys. You're my family. I will always be here for you guys. Either you text me, call me. I'm gonna be an hour away, so I love you guys with like all my heart. I also want to shout out Mr. Weeks. I mean, I was with him in band for 3 years, and I mean, this guy, he's more like a father figure to me at this point. I have 4 years of high school, so I'm always helping him around, but like he puts our needs before his, and like I truly admire that. So, Mr. Meeks, if you're watching this, I love you. So.
Okay, so my first shout out is to Mr. Childers because the band Banquet freshman year, I had asked him, it was like me, Caesar, Ori, Graham, Zach, and maybe Cyan or whoever. But we had asked him if he could give us one piece of advice, what would it be? And he had said, first, never to take anybody for granted. And then second, if you really want something, try your hardest to work at it. And I feel like I've lived by those two pieces of advice all of high school, and it really has like taught me so much.
Shout out to the tuba section. I know we're gonna kill it next year. Best tuba section in Texas. Shout out JaguarBrass.com. Sponsored by Abibos. Oh, one more thing. Shout out Derek Madriz. Best tuba section leader to come. Big things, big money. For my shout outs, baritone section. I love you. Be good. Don't suck. Teach the trombones how to play well. I want to, Dale, don't break a baritone. And then finally, Jonah. There are great things for you. You're gonna make it into a lot of drum corps.
The only people that I really want to shout out would probably be my trumpet section. Growing up with them just makes me feel really good. Knowing that I can say that these people love me.
A shout out to Lindsay, the flute player, the freshman, because I don't know, from what I've seen just from this show, is that she's like very responsible. And from a freshman, she's very involved with everything. And I feel like she'll be like a great drum major someday, or like a section leader. And Mary, she's really smart in academics and everything, I can tell. And I feel like she'll be great in flute.
I'd like to shout out the Low Brass family. Been kicking it for 4 years. Woo, woo, woo. Y'all been great, and I love you all. And my second one, I'd like to shout out the whole bands, because this year being a drum major, I got to experience a lot of like different aspects of like marching band, and I got to see things like, of course, from the podium and stuff like that, and different point of views. So I got to connect with a lot more people, and thank you all for making this year memorable, and I love you all.
I want to shout out the High Brass family, specifically Jonah, Angela, Thomas, Hey, Simran, Gio, Puga, Cassandra, Brayden, Colin, and Alex Q.
My shout out goes to the Brotherhood. Y'all know who you are. And every time I'm with them, they just make me happy. And then my second shout out goes to my lovely drum majors. They literally were there for me in every single day, for every single hour, every single minute, every single second. Like, that's how much time we spend together. And then, you know, first one's in, last one out. And then we love our tea talks. Those were fun. Tea.
So for my shout outs, I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Minks for being probably one of the most teachers who, aside from Mr. Burke, helped me try to communicate more with other people and help me out with the situation that I'm currently in. And for that, I would like to thank you, Mr. Minks, personally. And for my second shout out, I'd like to give it to Hunter Davis. She has been probably one of the most influential people to actually keep me in band. Aside from Puga and Daniel Taylor, all the other trumpet members, all y'all like my family, so I can't thank y'all enough.
Shout out to the saxophone section. Mr. Burke, I love you. You're my daddy. I mean, you're my father.
aka Daddy Burke.
Shout out to Jesus Christ for getting us through this successful show. And shout out to all the pretty girls. I love y'all.
Don't forget the berry sack section. Love you guys.
Shout out to all the band directors, Childers, Meeks, Burke, and Travis. I feel like they're really special, each one in each way, and I love them.
My 2 shout outs is Brotherhood. That's our flute little brotherhood. We would have talks every time we would go to a game. Be pretty cool. And then other shout outs would probably be the band directors also.
Shout out to the drum line, you know. Shout out to my boys, you know. I'm gonna miss y'all. Shout out to Mr. Burleson, cause he taught me some stuff that I'll cherish forever. And shout out to Mr. Burke and Mr. Travis for like just being there and being great directors.
I gotta shout out Derek, obviously, like okay, and Louis Peak, like always gonna be more role model.
I will shout out Derek too, cause awesome, so cool. And then my 2 best friends, Chloe and Maya, my closest friends ever. So yeah.
I want to shout out the color guard, color guard that went with me to state. Even though we had some problems along the way, we still made it. Hey! And my next shout out is for Zachary Travis. Mr. Travis, you have done so much for this band. If it wasn't for you, I don't know if we would have went to state. Shout out to all the other directors too, but we all know, Mr. Travis, you're the man. And I think we can all agree to that because you're the GOAT. I love you.
I want to give a shout out to Justin and all my whole group of friends that I've had in band since 8th grade. I love all y'all. Y'all have impacted me so much, and I don't know, I just love you guys. So shout out to y'all.
I guess I want to shout out the future color guard members that are gonna be in color guard next year. Do better than you did this year, etc. I guess the other shout out, specific person, I want to give it to Sophia, because she's the funnest girl I've ever met. Like, that's about it.
First, I'd like to shout out my boy Lucas, Joseph, and my kids, who I dearly love. My 4 bass kids.
Shout out to Zach. I love you. And shout out to my mom, because if it wasn't for her help, we wouldn't have Mohawks, first of all. And, all of the things that she's done over the past 4 years, like, to help us out. She proclaims herself as, like, our biggest fan, and, we owe the world to her. I owe the world to her. So, thanks, Mom.
Shout out to the color guard, because that was like my family for all 4 years of marching season.
And shout out to Reagan for being the best sister.
Aww.
Shout out to my brotherhood. Y'all know who y'all are. And my best friends, y'all also know who y'all are.
Shout out to the clarinet section. Y'all are a bunch of weirdos, but yeah, y'all are pretty cool still. And then shout out to Jaden and Kaya for keeping me sane throughout marching season. Yeah, because that was rough.
Shout out to the brotherhood. Shout out to the flute section. Shout out to Kaden. That's it.
And that's it.
And that's all.
Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are. You guys are gonna be awesome today. I have no doubt in my mind that what we're gonna do tonight in the Alamo Dome is gonna be anything short of spectacular.
Another day with the sunny sky, trying to light my way, but I'd rather be in the dark. I feel all the romance in the stars, surrounded by the universe with the moon and Mars. I feel it. get this breath.
Water. Hey, wait. Look. 1, 2, 3, 1.
Plus 3, 7 minus 5 is 2.
My triceps. I'm gonna triceps.
What kind of triceps?
Triceps.
Will you stay with me under the moonlight? We'll be magical as we